Days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
Yesterday, we talked extensively about the shooter, the school shooter, and we were all in agreement that the parents should pay, as what happened in Michigan. 2 parents going to jail for what their son did, and they arrested the father of Colt Gray. Yep, he will be facing a lot of charges connected to the killing of two students, 2 teachers, at the hand of his 14-year-old. He's 54. So I'm just gonna put that over there. 54-year-old Colin Gray, charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children, because several other children were injured. Because this fool, after the FBI showed up to his house and interviewed him about his son's activity online on this Discord, whatever that is. I don't know about Discord, but we're going to talk a little bit about it. And his fantasies about killing and shooting people. The father said, nothing, there's no problem here. Nothing to see here. He's fine. And then went ahead and bought him this gun for Christmas.
That's how you celebrate Christmas, Jesus' birthday. That's what you want to do on Jesus' birthday, is buy somebody a gun. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Now, you're a Southern guy, and I know you fish and hunt probably and do all of those things, or at least it's in your family DNA. What's this obsession? And I think there's something else. It's beyond hunting and fishing, and it's beyond guns. Like, there's something wrong in the culture of folk who raise these kind of children, because it's a prototype. We went down the list yesterday on the show, of all these school shootings have something in common. All these mass shootings actually have something in common.
Yeah, the number one thing they all have in common is actually guns, right? Like, America's the only place
That's true.
where this happens. People try to point out mental health, and you can find a bunch of macro other reasons, but the number one reason, we allow people to have guns just rampantly. On a not to turn into too deep or negative of a conversation, but for years I've always just felt like America has so many guns because America is a heist, and it's a stolen land, and so the guns are like, they one day they gonna come back and get it. I got to have the guns. And I just feel like that's a very, like, in the DNA of what America is as a construct. And so so many people have been heisted, our bodies, our labor, whatever. Every gun is sold out of fear. It's like somebody's coming to get you. And at this point, the fear is they're coming to get the guns. You selling guns because they coming to get the other guns that you already got. We're such a fearful nation because we know there's like a karmic justice that is due to what has happened here. And I think that, that's a completely hippie, emotional, like, philosophical answer, but that's what I think happened.
Roderick Morrow, when you said it, it felt right. Felt right in my spirit. I do know we're operating in a culture of fear.
Yeah.
Fear that I won't be good enough, fear that I won't make enough money, fear that I won't be successful, fear that, like you said, somebody's coming. But even the notion of somebody coming to get your guns.
Right.
For what? Like,
yeah,
when Obama, my family against these immigrants that are coming over here, they're coming to rape. I won't be able to, but you're the one raping.
That's the thing, right? It's like a cheater that looks through your phone. If you've ever been with somebody who cheats, it's like suddenly they want to look through all your stuff. It's like, I'm not doing anything, but man, you really curious about me doing something to you. Like, these light-skinned Black people ain't get here by accident, but I'm the poster that you put up to go, rapists, they gonna do something to you. So, like, it's a lot of that. And I think gun culture in a lot of ways is that. Now, it's obviously spawned as people have gotten rights and other people have gotten Like there's people whose fears are legitimized. There's black people who have guns because legitimate fear of somebody running up on you and threatening your life. So like it's not just at this point the original sin of stealing this land and stealing people's bodies, but I think deep down the DNA is that if show me a gun that's being sold right now that's not about someone else already having a gun, right? If you ask people like why they need, well, somebody else got a gun. These other countries don't have this problem. I can't stress that enough. There's mass school shootings are not happening everywhere. We have vice presidential candidates telling us this is a part of life now. That's where we're at in America, and there's enough people who love their guns and their rights to have them enough that they leave the rest of us in the lurch and go, yeah, if the kids got to get shot up, fine. People always bring up Sandy Hook, but I'll never forget after Uvalde, though that town still voted Republican. That's insane to me. That says there's a problem with an addiction to guns and the fear of the other that keeps people, fighting against themselves because your babies are dead. That it doesn't get more active than that. You should be activated and be like, never again. And yet we've completely given into it.
I don't have any answers because again, it is not the problem's not us. Right. It's outside and there's nothing we can do to your point. I mean, after Mike Brown was killed in Ferguson, a city that was a town that was represented predominantly by white representatives in a predominantly black town where they were getting pulled over disproportionately and ticketed disproportionately and targeted by police disproportionately, still didn't show up. And I mean, 12% of the people showed up to vote in the next election after Mike Brown was killed. And that was when I really had a wake-up call about it's not even apathy. There's a learned helplessness. Mm-hmm. And this is why I talk so much about empowerment on this show. This is why I talk so much about your personal will and desire that is all in you. Like everybody who's listening, you have the ability to change the trajectory of your life and this country and the world. You have the power. Right. But we won't get there. We won't get there. We won't get there through talking about it either. Yeah, we can do all of the hand wringing around when we need gun control legislation and all that until inside people, they realize that, I have to do something.
I think people forget that hope is revolutionary and radical as well. Like, there's a lot of people that worship at the idea of like violence being revolutionary and radical. And I'm not saying it's not, but is it realistic in America? Are the people that want the liberal things in America, are they willing to go fight and die for them? Probably not in those ways. So that's why I can't give in to apathy. And I hate when people just kind of do the whole like, well, there's no reason to vote. It's like, but it's really the only avenue that is realistic in America right now. We have actually seen in our country, in my lifetime, we've seen no school shoot. We've seen that. So like, it's possible. We had an assault weapons ban. The numbers jumped astronomically once that ban was lifted. So we know for a fact laws can change this. And yet there are so many people that are so apathetic or just, completely enthralled with the idea of having a weapon, that they'll let this happen for the rest of us. Because it would be one thing if it was like, because there's a bunch of sensible, reasonable gun owners. I know we all know some, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of them. But as long as they throw in with the like hardcore gun right activist, NRA grifter types, then they're just part of the problem. Like, I don't have a problem with you owning your handgun, but you should have a problem with a teen being able to get an AR-15. You should have a problem with that responsible gun owner and people that don't own guns alike. Like, but the fact that we're that divided, that it's literally been, no pun intended, weaponized, it's allowing these things to continue to happen. And I don't know what the breaking point is for America, because we had a presidential candidate shot at this year, like attempted assassination from somebody that was just able to get a weapon and do it, no trained expert or what, just bam. You've had school shootings now that school's been back in. I mean, what has been a week of school and we already got
week.
school shootings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a mass one. Yeah, again, I don't know. I've been to the gun range several times and the sobering feeling of having the ability to take a life overtakes me. I to the point where I have a disgust for it, the whole thing. There's some people that get a rush. I wish maybe we can have a campaign around the penis substitute of it all. The you're replacing your actual courage with this gun. Like true courageous people don't need a gun. It's like
Right.
maybe we can get back to that. I mean, schoolyard fights used to be a thing. We look forward to 3 o'clock unless you were in one of the people waiting.
Yeah.
Unless you were the one.
But at least you
3
get to
o'clock,
live.
you know,
You know what I mean? Like
the circle, and you knew, all right, somebody gonna get their ass whooped, and then next day we're gonna come back out and play.
At least you get to come to school tomorrow, like it wasn't like this thing, like they're saying this kid was like bullied and stuff, which obviously, that's terrible. But like, if you do not have access to a weapon of mass destruction, you're bullying. While that's terrible, maybe you come to school and you slap somebody upside their head and y'all got to go to the office and y'all got to deal with that and your parents got to get involved. That's much better. And I'm sure the parent would agree at this point, being in jail, that's a much better alternative than here's an AR-15.
Or maybe we can raise children that are emotionally and socially adjusted.
That would be nice.
Maybe it is parenting. So there was a TikToker. I don't know this person's name. Her name is It's Mallory. It's Mallory. She talked about this. She's a melanemic woman. It's Mallory H is her TikTok handle. Play the clip.
I'm sorry if you think it's too early to politicize what happened in Georgia yesterday, but I will not allow the NRA to dictate how I talk about this issue that is impacting all of us. The majority of school blank and mass blank that are happening across this country are being committed by white boys. So let me ask you this. If you're a parent, white women, what are we doing? Because this year in April, I got married and in doing so became a bonus mom of 2 beautiful little boys. And I have to tell you, every day we're combating messaging. Every day we're working on sharing emotions, expressing anger. We're working on things as parents to ensure that we are raising emotionally healthy, mature, communicative young men in the future. So I'm really concerned that that's not happening. What I'm understanding is that yes, this is 100% a pew access to pew problem, but as a culture, we are raising violent human beings. The overexposure and glorification of violence in our households has to stop. You have got to get a hold of what we are showing, teaching, exposing our children to, and being better, more present parents, because this is a problem in white households. So if we are white parents, we have to do something about it.
She ain't wrong. The only thing I would add is just the violence and cultural stuff that we have in our households. That's not just in America. Like that's partially our biggest export is culture, right? It's other countries go see our movies and they see the Avengers beat up people and shoot guns. We allow unfettered access to guns. Children have AR-15s. That there's no other country that's doing that.
That's Christmas gifts. Wait, so you're a knuckle dragger who's raising knuckle dragging ass children. You go to church on Sunday, the hypocrisy of what they hear in the household every day, where you're talking, calling people the N-word, speaking all these other derogatory words. You hate, and go to church on Sunday and pray to the Lord, and then give guns out for Christmas. I don't know if any sanity can come from that.
Right. It's their solutions are prayer in school, the 10 commandments on the wall, like things that are not real solutions. We had real solutions. They were called laws. You let them expire and change them and then refuse to enforce any to restrict this. And now we just got to do thoughts and prayers and pretend that this is normal, but it's not normal anywhere else on this earth. We actually look down on nations where we're like, man, kids got guns in this nation. They must have a terrible nation. What is going on in that place? we're that nation. We're the worst nation when it comes to that.
So we got to show up to vote. I'm gonna keep that message at the forefront. Check your registration, go to vote.org, make sure you are out there voting, because we have to create the world we want to live in. And it starts legislatively, to Rod's point, both locally, especially locally, but then nationally, federally. These are things that can happen in Congress. With an
Yes.
executive order, with a president that is willing to sign something into law because they're not in the pocket in the bed with the NRA.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.